said, you've just got to take that opportunity. And I did, and arrived naturally I was so fortunate then to, the first person other than an official I met was the great Jack Gibson, who I'm sure, John, you know very well as your dad. And to be given that opportunity in 1968 started a wonderful relationship. Those of us that were country footballers and, on our own, we were put up in those days, in many cases we boarded or put up in a boarding house, which I'd never ever done in my life. I'd never been on a bus.
Yeah, going from the land to the boarding house must have been interesting.
It was crazy. It was in Bondi Road. I'll never forget it. It was the oldest place. It was full of, I can say the word because we called them that in those days, drunks. And it was run by a Jewish lady who always said to me, you must be home at 6 o'clock because we only serve dinner between 6 and 7. And if you're not home by 7, the doors are locked. And I just didn't know that world. And I hated every minute. I was there for a week. The old Sydney Sports Ground was our home for training. And in those early days, the official would pick you up and take you to training. But then I so many times had to find out how to get on a bus and get back to Bondi Road. And a famous night for me was, I was the last in the dressing room of the sports ground. And your dad, Jack, said to me, well, kid, what are you doing here? And I said, I've got to try and get back to Bondi Road. And he said, well, we're going for dinner, him and Keith Clark. And I'll never forget it. And here I was, got in the back of that beautiful white Cadillac, John. You wouldn't know it, but I certainly did, to think that here was this convertible Cadillac outside the sports ground, and I'm in the back of it. And he said, well, we're going to have dinner first. It was the first night that I'd been to a restaurant. It was the first night I'd ever tasted spaghetti. And when Jack dropped me at the boarding house, he said to Keith Clark, yes, it doesn't look that good, does it? You better get the kids better competition, better accommodation. And within a week, I was staying with Keith Clark's auntie at Crivelli, and she was just a wonderful lady, and it was like going home again.